Tony Stark was able to record this in a cave with a box of scraps. Anyway.
All right. Glad we have arrived here. Hello and welcome to the Roundabout Podcast. This is episode 36. My name is Austin Suddeth. With me today, I have Michael Levine, Hunter Brittle, and in case we all forgot, his name is Tyler Baloney Boy McClellan. Hello, gentlemen.
Greetings, friend.
It's back.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't reminded
Baloney Boy never
him.
left. It's just kind of it just kind of faded into the background, but it never left.
I feel like he should update his Xbox and Steam handles.
I would rather
you should
not.
Forget Clowny. You should be
Yeah.
Baloney Boy.
Clowny
Wow.
and McGolden, and no, it's Baloney Boy.
I will
Across
say,
all
if I
platforms.
was like really good at video games, I would, just so people could be like, dang, I just got dunked on by a dude named Baloney Boy. That would be a pretty good flex, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, imagine we were playing Marathon this weekend, and imagine the kill tracker. It's like, XX Gunner 69 was killed by Baloney Boy.
Yeah.
Baloney Boy just swiped our squad.
noted marathon
No, you didn't do that.
icon Baloney Boy. But yeah, let's get these two boys going on another extraction shooter rant. How was that?
It was fun. For context, there was a new Bungie made extraction shooter that came out. And Michael has always notably been against the idea of playing an extraction shooter just because he has always said he just wouldn't enjoy it, which is completely understandable if you know anything about extraction shooters. But I joined the Discord for a Friday night stream, which we do every Friday night, and you should definitely tune in to watch. And I was having issues with the game we had planned on playing. And the first thing Austin says, I started to explain something, and Austin goes, "Shut up. Michael wants to play an extraction shooter." And I literally said, "Tell me what it is. I'll download it now." If that tells you anything.
I've never seen a man's mood change so quickly from, man, I'm so sorry that this isn't happening and it's my fault, to, I can't believe this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I also feel like I should clarify. I was told that Tyler was having problems with Elite Dangerous because that's our normal go-to when it's the three of us. And then Austin and I spent, 15 minutes trying to figure out what to play instead. And I just threw out there like, Bungie has Marathon. They're doing a, server slam. Maybe we check that out. It would be, I don't know. I've kind of thought about it. I typically like Bungie games. And that was it. I didn't get a say in the rest of the night. It was just like, yeah, all right, that's what we're doing. Tyler got on and goes, "Hey, I'm a couple minutes away from being ready to play Elite Dangerous." And Austin goes, "Nope, Michael said this, so we're doing this."
Yeah, he said it. So
You said the words. You said the words.
I think they colluded. I think Tyler never actually had a problem with Elite Dangerous.
Wait,
I
wish
wish
it was all a
you
plot.
for like 3 days, just like subliminal message for you to suggest Marathon.
You have no
That doesn't
idea how
sound
much
like
I
something we
wish you
do.
were right about that, because it would have made it so much better to know that it worked. Unfortunately, we did not think that far ahead.
Like, I'm crafty when I need to be. I'm not that crafty.
I don't believe you.
But
Whenever you want to play it in the future, just start in every message or like image that you post in the Discord or something, hide the little Marathon gas station logo somewhere in it.
yeah, there you go.
Real CIA in the 70s type shit.
Once it was all said and done, though, we actually ended up having a good time. It's a unique game. Again, it was a server slam weekend, so the game's not fully released yet. But we ended up having a good time. It's a much more laid back extraction shooter. It is not a make you want to walk around with your head hanging around your living room for the next 3 hours like Tarkov does. But once it was all said and done, Michael said, "I might just buy this game." And that was the greatest thing that Austin and I could have ever heard after a Friday night stream, talking about a extraction shooter from Michael.
You know what it is?
Yeah,
It's because it's a cartoony. It's cartoony. The art direction is cartoony. It's not realistic like Tarkov. Michael doesn't like realistic games. I don't know if you guys noticed this. He doesn't like realistic games at all. Don't look into his job. Don't look into his place of employment. But he
Okay. That's
Career
okay.
is off the table here.
Gotcha. I was gonna say I missed the sarcasm at first, and I was gonna say, sir, you're the one who didn't like Hell Let Loose.
Dude, I was about to point to Hell Let Loose too. I was gonna be like, he loved that game.
We weren't talking about me. We're talking about Michael.
But
Well, and I'll say that's a good time to talk about the art in that game is awesome. I really like the world and how it looks and everything. But what it really is, I think, is that it is way less punishing than Tarkov. Tarkov is, if you mess around and are wearing the wrong armor and somebody else has the right ammo, they're going to one-shot you, not just to the head, but to the chest, potentially. While this game, you get downed like in most battle royales where your teammates can revive you. Austin and I actually eventually found out that if you get downed and then die from the timer or somebody coming up and thirsting you is what it's called in those types of games, you can actually still get revived. Now your stuff can get taken, but Austin actually, I died in a couple of them, and Austin, fought or gave them time to leave and came back around and picked me back up, and we just kept going. So it's much less punishing. It's more along the lines of a Destiny or a Halo, like a more space futuristic setting where you're fighting. Most of the AI you're fighting are robots. So it does definitely seem more Michael Speed in terms of that. It's a fun group game, and the fact that it's a max 3-person team helps with just keeping it a little bit less pressure, I guess, when you do run into other teams. Of course, you can always get third party though, which we did.
It's max 3-person?
Yeah,
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Yeah, teams of 3 are the max.
Bungie seems to have a thing for 3.
That's true.
I don't know
Not
what
sure
it is.
why.
I thought their number was 7, but yeah, the last 2 games they've made, it's been a max fire team of 3.
I'm just glad that Michael got to witness the 2 things that I like and dislike about extraction shooters with Tyler. Is the first, I like how he gets excited about them. Like something happens and he's immediately like, oh, what's that over there? And he like gets super excited and he wants to go run. He wants to go figure it out. And I love seeing that. And not to make it sound like weird or anything, but I'm the little brother of my family. And so it's like having a little brother that you're playing a game with in a respectful way. Like it is. It's like, I remember when we started playing Tarkov and he's like, I just want to get better. And I was like, dude, I want you to get better too. And I saw Tyler growing in how he played Tarkov. And I was like, that's really awesome. Like it was one of those things that like I see in my son too, now that he's playing video games. It's just like that pride in somebody else. Like that's the thing I like about playing an extraction shooter with Tyler. The thing I dislike about playing an extraction shooter with Tyler is how excited he gets when he's playing an extraction shooter.
I knew that's where you were going with it. That man
will hear a gunshot and be like, "Oh my god, there's someone here!" Or clearly an AI who are like semi non-threats. He goes, "I think there's a guy over here." It's like, dude, that's clearly like an AI. It's fine. Calm down.
I do get very jumpy in them.
Yeah, if you go watch the VOD of Friday's stream, I definitely have one of those moments where we it was in the one where we wipe and Austin and I are in a building. I open the door and walk out and immediately get lit up. And I just go, Austin? And I gave no other information. I just ran back in the door, crouched and hid under a desk and went, Austin?
Dad, come save me.
So if you went back and watched a lot of our Tarkov Tuesday streams, you would see that there are many times where I catch myself saying it after the fact. I won't give any context. I'll just say, I need help. Like it just comes out. I need help. I need you to come over here. And no idea where I'm at. But I will say, to your point, Austin, it's almost the opposite for me because I've always been the big brother, especially my siblings. But even so, playing and I'm glad Elliot doesn't listen to these, but playing with like Elliot and shooters with some of the other guys in the Great Lakes and all those other Discords we hang out in, I'm usually the best one there. So I'm usually the one giving the direction. So it's nice to have somebody that I can learn from and actually get better from rather than just feeling like not I'm being dragged down by any means, but feeling like if I don't do well, the team's going to kind of fail, for example. So no, I'm right there with you. We're seeing the positives from that that relationship in terms of a video game. So yeah, but no, I do get very jumpy in those games, especially in Tarkov. And to your point earlier, Brittle, the realism is what makes it so nerve-wracking. And the idea of, if I mess up here, one tap to the head and it's raid over, I'm going to lose all my goodies. So yeah, he's spot on with that description.
Oh, it is so funny playing Tarkov with him sometimes, because I'm playing my game, I'm in my element, and I see Tyler, and I mean, you could just see his character is so jumpy. He'll just like aim at you, and I'll be like, "Don't." Like, no,
Stop.
it.
In all the times
I
played,
find
I haven't killed
myself
you.
watching him play sometimes in Tarkov, and just like, I just want to see what he's gonna do. Like, I'll just park myself. Like, what's he gonna do? And I found myself doing that today because we played Marathon a little this morning. And he was doing something, and I was like, I should tell him he shouldn't be doing that, but I just want to see how this plays out. And he immediately got lit up. I was like, hey, you don't want to do that.
You gotta
I
let
will
the
say,
lesson
though-
unfold, man.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you not to put your hand on the stove. I want you to put your hand on the stove and learn that that's hot.
I will say to Tyler's defense though, the only person, at least that I noticed, who almost team killed yesterday was you.
True. Oh my God, it was a snap to him because he was behind me and we're in the middle of a fight, and he was throwing a Craig at me, and
As I normally do in these kind of team style games, I play a role character, and there's not like, in Destiny, I tend to play a tanky kind of character. There's not really a good one of those, at least in the shells that they're showing right now. So I picked a medic. Like, I'm a medic class. I have we call him a Craig. I throw him at the guys, and it like latches onto him and heals him, right? And so, yeah, we're in the middle of a combined boss fight and PvP fight. Like, as we're doing this boss fight, players roll up on us. So we're fighting both. And I'm a terrible healer, but I happened to notice Austin was hurt. So I go sprinting in the building where they are because I was flanking, and I threw a Craig at him thinking, okay, no big deal. Like, he'll heal. And I started to go back out the door.
yeah. So I turn around because I'm trying to get cover. And so I turn around just as I see the outline of something having an arm motion towards me. And it's like, before I can even register if that's friendly or not, it's just like there's an aggressive action being thrown at me, and I have to take my own action. And so I just start laying into him, and I was like, oh, wait, no, that's Mike. And he's like, that's me. I was like, I'm sorry, you're fine. Heal up.
Brittle, for context here, a Craig, what Michael is saying, is a little robot that he throws that will like hover around a character and heal them. That's definitely not its name in the game, but because robots are always, the one robot that is always helping us here is Craig. That's what we named him.
I love it. I love it.
So we
and
get to
I'm
say
here
thank
for
you,
it.
Craig, as we get healed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Continue that. In fact, infect it into the rest of the marathon community. We need to make that a thing. Start Craig posting.
We'll see
Make
if we can get Marathon to
Craig.
make us a custom Craig skin that says Craig across the side.
That would be amazing. I gotta share with Mike because I think he'll appreciate this one because he did play, and I think Bert will appreciate it from a retribution standpoint. I told Tyler this one. The first game I played today, and then we can get off the marathon talk. I was playing it solo because I was like, I want to see how solo goes against like us playing as a group. It looks like that if you queue solo in this game, you're paired with other solos, which I love, because that's the thing with like Tarkov and Arc Raiders. Like Arc Raiders
When
have
you say paired, like you're in a server of only solos, or you're
Correct.
put into a fire team.
you can squad fill if you want, but you don't have to. But if you queue solo, you go into a game where there's only solos.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, which I like because, as we know, I played Tarkov for 5 years solo before I played with Tyler, and I would run into teams of 3 all the time. And so it's like, how do I solo a team of 3 players? But here it's like it's solos only. It feels that way. I never ran into more than one person at a time, and no one seemed to be in groups. So, but I'm playing solos, and I was just having a hell of a time. Got into a fight with one dude, Great fight. I mean, it was like neck and neck. Like one of us is going to die. I lived with like one shot. End up trying to heal, but I blew through all my healings in the fight. So now it's just like, okay, I got to leave. Like, I don't have time to stick around and do anything else. One guy was camping at a rock, and I play the stealth class. So I'm going invisible, and I'm throwing smoke grenades and being invisible in smoke grenades. That's my play style for the last 20 years of video games. And that's my class. I'm like, cool. They have the Austin class. Perfect. And so I get out of this fight that this guy has shot me with. I have 25% health and no shields, no healing, nothing. And it's like, I got to get to a point to leave this game. I'm running around the map, piecing together like 10% health healing here, like a little bit of shield here. And then I was like, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm a stealth class. There is how you exfil. You can either exfil at a safe location, or they have what's called a guarded location where big, strong AI come to try and take you out to keep you from exfil. I'm like, I'm going there because no one else is going to go there. And I'll just be invisible waiting for my exfil. I go there, I activate it, and someone's camping it. And so now I've been shot back down to 20% health, hiding, invisible, thinking, how am I going to get out of this situation? The AI was focused on me, didn't even bother to shoot at that guy. One thing you can do in this game is if you get knocked and you're in the revivable state, you can exfil in that state, which we found out. I actually exfilled both Michael and Tyler. They were down, and I just exfilled us up, and they lived. It counted as a win. So cool, great. What I'll do is I'll last second run in there, and if I get knocked, hopefully it sends me up. What I did not know is that guy who was camping had the same strategy, and he went first. And so the timer starts counting down at 10. I go invisible and I knife him with 2 seconds left so he doesn't get to exfil. I don't get any of his stuff, but neither does he.
He doesn't get to leave.
I'm
So
going down. You're going down with
It's like,
me.
if you're going to camp me, you don't get out, because I do. I pop my invisibility. I throw my smoke grenades out. Like, I am getting to that zone, and I see a down dude with an AI shooting at him in the exfil, and I was like, no, I know who you are. Just executed him before it could send him up.
That's funny.
But
Yeah,
also,
it's fun. I think I might buy it.
it is a cool game, and you're right. We don't have to continue down the marathon road, but I will talk about a little bit. You were talking about that kind of complex of me and you playing a game together. It is amazing how much who you're playing with can change the way not only you play a game, but just how the game is from your perspective at that point. That kind of teacher student or big brother little brother thing, I feel like you play a game entirely different, especially when you're just playing with two people, when you know that the other person is better or worse than you, or maybe not even better or worse, knows more than you or knows less. I feel like when I play Tarkov alone, I don't play near as scared. I just I know it's me. I know I've got to prevent myself from dying, to get kills, whatever. But when I play with Austin, I all of a sudden turn into the puppy dog. I'm just following where Austin's going. I don't ask questions. If he says this is where we're going, that's where we go. Even if he says, where do you want to go? It's up to you. I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. So it changes that aspect of playing a game a ton when you feel like you are playing with someone better than you or who knows more than you.
Well, and I think
It's more relaxing.
for me, I was about to say, for me, it's more relaxing when I play with other people. Like, when I play with people, I relax a little bit, because even if it, like Call of Duty, something like that, like, get away from the extraction shooters. I mean, we're staying in shooters, but that's pretty much all I play. But you play something else, and it's like, if I'm playing by myself, it's all on me. Like, I don't have someone to back me up. I will take someone who just picked up a controller for the first time and have them on my team, and I will be more relaxed than me playing by myself. And that's why, like, I mean, we've always talked about, like, I've been on 2 competitive gaming teams. Like, I've played on that level before. But when I play with Mike, who hasn't played on that level, who he himself has says, like, I'm not that good. When I play with him, I am 10 times more relaxed than if I were playing by myself. Because it's just like, I know I have someone else. Like, someone else is here with me, and it doesn't, that fear of losing is gone.
Well, and to that point, though, I think like if we're talking about me and you playing one of these games, I feel like for me personally, being the less experienced, being the lesser player, is almost not. I'm not to say playing Tarkov with you is stressful. I much prefer playing it with you now than playing by myself. But to me, it does add an element of pressure. Of feel like I'm holding you back. For example, if I mess up, but then again, then you're just playing Tarkov like you've always known it by yourself. And I keep going back to Tarkov, but whatever it is, right? Any game. When I was playing the NHL and playing in leagues a lot, if I ever felt like I was the least experienced player or the worst player on a team, even if that's not being bad, but just they're all better, it's every mistake you make feels so much worse because you feel like you're the weak link now. But again, it can completely change that aspect. Like for right now, if Michael and I decided, not that Michael will ever touch Tarkov, if Michael and I decided to go play Tarkov, it would be a completely different experience for me now, being the more experienced player, the one that knows what's going on relative to Michael, which is nowhere near Austin's level of knowledge of the game. But relative to Michael, now I would be the experienced one. I would be the one leading. Again, I think that's just the whole point. It changes the way you look at the game. It changes the way you play the game to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always recognized I'm the weakest link in the group, so I just recognize that and go with it.
I feel that pressure when I play with you, Tyler, when we play Rocket League. I gotta show this former Grand Champ that I've still got what it takes, and then we both end up sucking.
Like, it is that thing, and that's a good example, because when I play Rocket League, to me, there's no pressure. I'm just having fun. Like, we're just having fun. But if I played with somebody that was like a Grand Champ or an SSL now, I'd feel nervous. Every mistake I made, I'd be like, God, I suck. Like, this is awful. I'm holding him back. That would be the whole thing for me. Now, Austin will not admit this on his own. He won't toot his own horn. Austin is a well above average gamer, especially when it comes to shooters. He's one of those people that can just pick them up and be good at them. So that there is that element of it. Like, no matter what game it is, I don't know how much, if Austin's ever played squad or if he has played much of it. I've put a lot of time into squad. I bet right now, if me and Austin got on squad and he had about 2 hours to figure out the game, he would immediately be better than me. So there is always just that element of, and I don't think I'll ever play a game with Austin and be like, I'm the better player here. I can teach him some things, but that's just the unfortunate complex of our relationship. So
You probably school me at Rocket League.
Let that be a lesson to you all, listeners. Diversify your skill group and your gaming partners.
yeah, I could school you in Rocket League, Austin. Just know that.
Yeah, I mean, you say that like that's it's one of the things about business, right? I mean, that was always been my approach. If I'm the smartest person in the room, we have a problem.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
Right?
that's fair.
If I'm the smartest person, if I'm the best gamer, this group has a problem.
I feel like that's
always my
a
approach.
life philosophy. Not even
Yeah.
business or gaming. That's a life philosophy. I
When the hell are
never
we
assume.
gonna get someone funny for our group, though.
Well,
Okay, Al,
I'm
first
trying,
of all.
What, you think you're the funniest one here?
I like to think that I am, yeah.
Ooh,
Confidence goes a long way.
it sure does.
It does. You're right. Blatant confidence. Anyway, moving on. This week in Florida, man, I've got a pretty good one here that I just want to start off with no context and just read the headline because it kind of got me. Florida
Can
man
I interrupt
accused.
you for half a second?
Go ahead.
After what you just said, this better
Oh,
be
boy.
the funniest thing that's ever come out of your mouth.
Fuck you.
wow. Gauntlet has
Continue.
been
Well,
thrown.
what's even funnier is it's technically not even his. This is something that happened
That's
in
true
the
right
world.
now.
Right?
Pressure's
Yeah, I
on, though. Pressure's on.
Florida man
Go
accused
on.
of using taco seasoning packets in organized retail fraud scheme. Full stop. That is the headline. It leaves a
saw-
lot to the imagination.
Read
Yeah,
that through one more
I saw
time.
this because it's like and I never did a deep dive. Did you actually read the story about this?
Yes, I've got the article up right here
Okay,
because I have to
thank
go back
God.
and check.
Because I've seen the headlines
details.
like 10 times. The ones that I saw was man used taco seasoning packets to steal $40,000 from Target. And I'm like, this man's a genius.
Yes.
How?
It's
So
it's
explain this to me, please.
it's brilliant. Well, Tyler wanted me to reread the
Yeah, I
The
did want to hear
headline.
the statement. Yeah.
Florida man accused of using taco seasoning packets in organized retail fraud scheme.
Okay.
This guy allegedly committed 75 thefts across multiple Target stores between July 2025 and February of 2026. Target lost over $10,000 throughout this whole ordeal, and he made $40,000 out of it. He would select multiple boxes of trading cards, as well as an equal number of 99-cent taco seasoning packets, and go to the self-checkout and only pay for the seasoning packets. $40,000 he made from this, and Target lost 10 grand.
That's insane. And this man's a genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard the joke of like carry a TV and an apple into the self-checkout and scan the apple and walk out with a TV, but like $40,000 is nuts. And that just tells you what's in these trading card packs.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like you got some really good pulls.
Did he make $40,000 on the cards, or are they just saying in doing that he stole $40,000 worth of cards?
No,
because
he
then
made
the question is, how much did he make off of those?
He made 40 grand. Wallace generated almost $40,000 in revenue from selling the stolen goods.
Yeah,
that's right.
And Target lost $10,000.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Technically, he got $40,000 because he didn't pay for them.
I see. Jeez, wow.
He could
imagine if he had, he'd still be 30 grand up,
right? Like,
was he stealing Pokemon
and not in jail?
Or?
I have to assume it's Pokemon. It could be Magic too, because the average Magic the Gathering pack when I was heavy into it, the average booster box was going for about 120. At Target, they don't really have like the good ones because that gets reserved for like your game stores and stuff like that. But like an average booster box of, I forget how many packs are in a booster box, but it's like they're upwards of $100, like 120 I've seen. So I mean, that return on investment is pretty crazy. I still think that he could have gone even further and double dipped and filmed himself doing pack openings and made YouTube money off of revenue from kids watching pack openings.
Yeah, you bring a good point.
Wow. And then his viewership would have skyrocketed when the story came out that he got arrested.
Right.
Well, yeah, skyrocketed. I'm pretty sure that would tank it.
And then he could like pull
kids
like
love a conspiracy.
He could pull like a Zodiac thing where he's sending letters to the police by saying, "Yeah, I bought these packs," and then holding up the taco seasoning and then opening a different pack.
Flash the receipt real quick. It's literally just taco seasoning, but he blurs out everything.
That's crazy.
Brilliant, man.
I'm glad I have the full story to this because I have seen that headline 10 times in the last few days, and I'm just like, I don't want to get into it, but I'm also curious.
I mean, it got me when I was first reading the headline because I was like, is he using it? It's a very like bland headline that leaves a lot to the imagination. So I was thinking he was using the taco seasoning as a weapon or something.
Like, me too.
True Florida man stuff. But
like
I mean, this one's
sand, but taco seasoning.
No, I mean, it's something financial when it uses the word fraud. So he's definitely doing something financial gain with it. I was curious, like, where he was going with it. Like, yeah, I don't know. But that's a crazy story, man.
Well, and my thought was, like, is there some kind of, like, he found, like, a loophole in Target to where if you, like, buy taco seasoning, it has, like a simplify it, like a 2-for-1 and then returning one and getting the full price? Was it, like, something like that he found, like, an exploit to? But the fact that it was because the packets were very similar to the cards and he just scanned the packets, that's not
right. But no, it's
I saw this going.
It's boxes though. It didn't say like he was getting booster like packs or anything. Like it's boxes of these things.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
This is why Walmart checks your receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't know. Half the time they're like, "Can I see your receipt?" I show them my receipt. They look at it, they're like, "All right, that's a receipt." And then I walk out.
So I have found the only time they ever check my receipt is if I'm holding something that's not in a bag, for one. And two, even then, I just do this just because I'm curious. Like, I've always been curious when they do it and when they don't, because I find that they rarely ever check mine. What I have found, not that I'm stealing things, so please don't take this out of context, because I'm not, but I have found that anytime I offer it, like as I'm walking by them, kind of like look and hold up the receipt a little bit, like saying, "Here, do you need to check this?" Basically, they never check it. Never. They just say, "You're like, just wave me on." So try it next time you go to Walmart. See if they do it. Just hold up the receipt and like act like you're asking if they need to check it, and I promise you they won't look at it.
I just do the pickup thing where they come out and put it in my car, so I don't have to go inside and interact with all of them.
Amen, brother.
We do the delivery, and
I did that with Lowe's
We don't even leave
today.
the house.
Lowe's does
for
that?
groceries at least.
Yeah, Lowe's has curbside pickup.
I did not know that. Credit to Lowe's.
But yeah, we also do what Tyler did. We did that this morning. We
Yeah.
just had groceries delivered because it was like, we have enough going on today. Let's just get them delivered and we don't have to worry about trying to get there.
We've found that we spend less money when we do that too, because when we walk through the aisles, it's much easier to just grab something that you don't really need. You may not, mostly like snack stuff. It's just much easier to just grab and put in the buggy, like, oh, here it is. Versus when we
Yeah,
order it online
yeah,
and do
I-
delivery, it's just we get what we know we want or need and have it delivered. There's, that instant gratification of, ooh, those cookies look good, doesn't happen. So it helps us in that sense too.
Or you could just
Yeah.
show restraint.
That seems like more effort than just ordering it and getting it delivered.
You're saving time and having restraint.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
my restraint is by not going.
grocery stores are psychologically engineered for you to buy the extra shit there at the end.
See, Austin,
Grocery
I
store
was set
setup
to
is
fail.
I know
kind of
what
interesting.
they're set up for, but if you haven't figured out, don't care what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, no, we did figure that out.
I will do my own thing, thank you.
So we talked a bit about video games and the weirdness of people in Florida specifically, which I will say that's the first intelligent Florida man story of yours that I've heard so far. So good on you, Florida. You're getting somewhere, I guess. I have a question that's sports related, and I could have easily probably looked up this answer, and one of you may know it, but I've been curious about this because we're kind of at that crossroads where you're starting to see a bunch of different sports play. Baseball season's picking back up. Football just ended. Hockey's playing right now. So I'm curious, though, why is baseball the only sport, at least that I'm aware of, where the home team wears white and the away team will wear sometimes gray, but oftentimes a color, like a jersey that's the color of their team?
Whereas, like, in every other sport, it's flipped.
Correct. Like football, the Panthers are going to wear their blue jersey most of the time at home, their team color jersey.
I don't know.
And I'm sure there's a valid answer for this somewhere on the internet, but I'm just curious what y'all's thoughts are on it.
Isn't baseball older than all of those sports? Maybe it's got something to do with, like, back in the 1850s or something when they
baseball is a
when-
very like
when Honus
historic
Wagner was
and
storming Bull Run or whatever.
yeah. So baseball is a very like not conservative. That's not the right word, but stuck in their ways type sport. Very traditional. Yeah, they stick to things like that. And that was my thought. Is it's maybe white is in at that time the white jersey. I don't know. Now baseball, I know for example, and I'm sure other sports do this too. But baseball, for example, your home jersey is going to say the team name, while your away jersey is going to say the city. Just because when you're at home, they know where they're at. When you're away, you're wanting to show where you came from, right? So like the Braves, their home jerseys say Braves across them, their away jerseys say Atlanta. But I've noticed every other sport that I can think of does this. Even soccer. I was watching a Wrexham game the other day, and they were at home and they were wearing their red uniforms. So I just didn't know if maybe y'all had any insight on that, on why that may happen. I didn't look it up either because I wanted to talk through it first, which I will look it up.
I will say, I think this is a relatively recent change in terms of all the other sports, because I remember for the longest time, soccer was that way. Home team wore white.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe Premier League was the only exception that I can think of, but like especially MLS at the high school level, we did it, right?
I was gonna
Austin,
say, in
like
high
we
school,
wore white
we
at
wore
home.
white at home.
We wore blue. See, we wore blue. We were opposite.
Yeah, I feel like I remember until probably, I don't know, the last decade or so that it was home teams wore white in a lot of sports. Yeah, I feel like it's recent that it started to switch. And I also feel like you're starting to see a lot of color versus color as long as the colors aren't similar.
Yeah, you do see that in baseball more often now too.
I'm putting my money. I've just come up with this theory. I'm putting my money on it. I'll bet the farm on it that it has to do with cleaning the uniforms.
I do not believe that you
easier-
did not just look that up, asshole, because I'm reading it right now, and that is exactly why. So if you did just guess that, great freaking job.
I would have. I did not look it up. That's Scout's honor, because it's easier to clean the colored uniforms when you're out on the road than it is to scrub all the stains out of the white uniforms when you're trying to get somewhere.
I have a problem with that because on a professional level, they got a cleaning crew to do that.
Well, hold on. You've got to
And-
understand the age of baseball. Exactly what I'm reading is early long road trips in the 1800s, because they were playing baseball back then, made it, and not only that it was easier, Brittle, but that they just didn't. It made it impossible to wash the uniforms. The darker colors, usually gray traditionally, hid the dirt better than white did.
See, my thought process behind this, and I swear to God, I heard this from one of our soccer coaches, and I could be completely misremembering because I don't know where half the shit in my brain comes from. Is that you would, because we were white at home, and so we wanted the away teams to wear color because we were playing out in the sun, and you wanted to be as cool as possible in your white uniform, and they were getting hotter in their away colored uniform.
And it's funny, I was actually just looking up similar to Tyler, I was looking it up. And there are actually seven NFL teams that still do that, still wear whites as their home uniform. And a number of them are Southern teams for that reason.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Dolphins, Panthers, Texans, Jaguars, Buccaneers, and Commanders. Yeah, I said it funny.
Jaguars. Jagwer. Jaguar.
You were right as well, Michael. Hockey just recently started doing this. This was in the early 2000s, so relatively recently.
I feel like NBA recently changed.
Actually,
although NBA has very much gone like color versus color anytime they can.
Yeah,
they're indoor.
What I'm reading, historically, home teams wore white through the NBA. Now, I don't know if that's, like you said, more recently changed. But yeah, now even baseball teams, like you see the Braves wear their red jerseys. They don't wear red much anymore, but they used to have a red alternate jersey that they would wear at home all the time. It's not as strict, I don't think, as it used to be in a lot of sports. But the NFL has apparently never had a home white rule, where technically at one point baseball did. It was a strict rule where you had to wear white at home. Primarily white, at least. Like the Braves always had the white with the blue shoulders and under the arm areas.
I don't know. That, to me, if it's been like that old, it was just a simplicity rule. Like, just that away. Because, and I think it also is telling for the sport, too. Whereas baseball, you're playing, more than one game a week. Whereas most other sports, you're playing one game a week. So,
True.
Simplicity's sake, you're on the road. Wear this jersey. We're not having to exchange each day, swapping it out. Just make a rule on home games, you wear this color, and on away, you wear your alternative. So to me, like, that makes more sense because of the sport. Because you could play, like, what was it, 5 games a week sometimes?
Or
that
more.
You're just like, yeah, it's just like...
Generally 5.
Generally 5. That it's just
5
like,
or
okay,
6.
so we're not having to worry about swapping colors every single game. Just home team wears white.
So another to that point, so I'm sure you may know this very well, Austin, but for anyone who doesn't, baseball is generally played in series. So you will play the same team 3 games back to back to back, or sometimes even 4 or 5 games occasionally, but generally a series is a minimum of 3 games. And from what I've always seen with the Braves, at least, and other teams may do this differently, they will generally only wear a specific uniform for that series, and then they'll switch. So like if the Braves have a back-to-back home series, they'll wear one uniform for a series, and then the next series they'll change it. So it's unusual that they'll switch uniforms within a series. I'm sure that more is for convenience sake, like you're saying, at away venues, so they only have to take one uniform. They don't have to worry about having other ones there. But I have seen that even at home, they will usually maintain the same uniform for the whole series that they're playing.
Yeah, it just feels like that for baseball, it feels like it kind of has its own, I don't know, air about it when it comes to the uniforms because of how often they do play versus like other sports. It doesn't seem that important. I also feel like if it, like saying recently that they have changed it to where there are more color uniforms for home is like the technology we have in clothing isn't as bad. I mean, like pretty much everything feels the same now on that level of material that a darker color isn't going to be as hot. I remember freaking whenever me and Michael were in high school, it was like almost cotton levels of material we're wearing out there. So yeah, you wanted the white cotton versus the black cotton.
Yeah, say up until the last couple years when we finally got new Nike uniforms. Yeah, they were pretty miserable.
Did
They
y'all
were
have
thick.
blackaways?
No, we were white
blue.
and blue.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, white and blue high schools.
Yeah.
The basic bitch of color patterns.
It's either that or black and red, or the occasional yellow and green.
I
Take your pick.
swear. I was so jealous of other schools that had like green and white or like a dark blue and gray or something, but nah, ours was just blue and white. And there were 4 other schools in the county that had blue and white too. So it's just boring.
So the way our county is set up, there's 3 high schools, and it's East, RS, and Chase. RS Central is what it is. So East Central and Chase, basically. And they all kind of had, just based on where they were in the county, they each had basically a title. And so East was known as the Jungle, Chase was known as the Farm, and Central was known as the Palace. It was always kind of, Central had a certain air to it. And so to me, the white and blue was just like, it just fit. Because East was red and black, Chase was like navy blue and gold.
This sounds like a map to a fantasy RPG game.
Right.
It's
Like,
not,
this doesn't
but
sound real.
This is
this is high school.
This isn't his high
but
school layout.
You're
This is
explaining us like an obscure, like late '90s RPG. game
No,
you
not at
played
all.
the
This
other
was-
day, and
this
you're
was
like,
how
I'm
the
gonna
high-
spin this as facts.
this is the map to A Link to the Past.
Well, and the thing is it went back a long way. So the high school I graduated from just last year, the year before, I think, was the 100th year anniversary of it. And it has been known as the Palace for a very long time. So this is not something new that was just there when I was in high school. Like, it's always been that way. And I think it was original, like many, many years ago, because the county I live in is broken up into 3 towns or 3 cities. And really towns, let's be honest, they're small enough. Each one had a high school. And that's where it came from. There was a lot, like, it was very, the one that my high school was in, was generally speaking had more money. The one that the one that's called the Farm it was very, like, there were a lot of farms out there, right? Cattle farms, stuff like that. We don't have to talk about the other one, but that's where it came from, and it's stuck for a very long time. So there was always like a certain level of pride, may not be the word, but maybe a little bit, you felt better than everybody else when you went to Central. That's just how it was. The white and blue always was very, in that case, it felt good to have it, right? It just felt like the right, if you lived in that county, it just felt like the right colors to have as a high school team.
I mean, yeah, at the time I was really proud of our uniforms, but
Now that I'm older, I realize none of it meant a thing.
well, that, and I've realized how many different schools and sports teams and everything else use white and blue. I mean, how many race teams use white and blue? It's
True.
obnoxious.
So many of them. Get another.
But at the time,
ballot.
I was really, really proud of it.
Yeah, I
I
remember
always
being very
wanted
proud
green,
of
but
it.
green's my favorite color. So
Well, maybe you should have gone to Gorman.
nope, we're not getting
Anyway.
into this.
Yeah, I know. We're not. Anyway, let's. It's been 2 months, lads.
Oh boy.
I think we should have a pizza update.
Oh, yeah.
Where's everybody at on their pizzas?
Is this because I
I
just
am.
mass updated over the weekend?
Yeah,
No, I have
went
been
to a
planning.
buffet and cleaned them out.
I did not. I just I ordered 2 pizzas for myself. There's still 8 slices of pie. I knew I was gonna eat them all myself because I live by myself. I'm not just gonna update as I eat because they're all 16 slices are gonna be eaten. So I'm just gonna wait till the end and not blow up the chat.
See, and I'm going to show you why. I update my numbers, like my daily total, basically. Like I'll combine everything I ate throughout the day and make one update at the end of the day if I had any. And this is why, and we'll put it in the YouTube stream. But I've been keeping a tracker because I'm a data junkie. So I've been keeping a tracker of everybody's pizza count.
Boy, look at that leap.
The fact that I was ever ahead of someone is interesting to me.
I do have to confess, my last update was a 2 separate day update, but it was the same pizza, if that makes it any better. I ate 4 pieces for dinner one night and 3 for lunch the next day, and I had forgotten to update it, so that's why I went from 8 to 12. But
That's what I'm saying. Like
That's
you're
not
not.
right.
There's no point in just
that's not
updating
right.
as
I
you
missed-
go.
or
If
8
you're
to
gonna eat the
15,
whole
that's what it
thing.
was.
Brittles looks like we were playing Mario Party and he had no chance of winning, and then he won all the bonus stars at the end and jumped up.
Brittle looks like he's sandbagging his number. That's what it looks like.
I'm not
He's like,
sandbagging. I'm just updating
I'm not gonna
one
let him know where
time.
I'm at.
Yeah. Brittle, for context, he went from 15 to 31 in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he
Listen, man.
gorged.
They were running a deal. 2 medium pies for like $15. I was like, bet.
See,
Blew their
I've got this.
While you have the flu.
Yeah, well,
I've got
I didn't
this
plan
thing
that,
is
but
like,
yeah.
I'm trying to be honest about my pizza because, like I've said, like my mother-in-law bought me a pizza oven, and for the last month, I have been like, God, I really need to use that pizza oven. It was bought. I want to try it. I've been wanting to make homemade pizzas from scratch for like the last 2 years. I just like want to do it, but it's like as soon as I get on that train, like my number's just gonna skyrocket.
It's all over for him.
But I don't think
done.
there's anything wrong with that, right? When you're talking an annual
yes.
average, it's accounting for people that got pizza ovens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just like it did not fall in my favor here because it's not going to be my average that I've held for the last 20 years of my life. It's going to be a skewed average for me.
It's the start of a new average.
I don't like it.
Well, and another thing, you have to look, like, for example, I
guess we should sorry, Tyler, we should say for the audio only listeners, I'll give a quick rundown. This is as of March 1st. Austin's at 9, I'm at 21, Shane is at 18, Hunter is at 31, Tyler is at 15, Nick is at 22, and Melinda is at 11.
Well, and Austin, people go into kicks. Like, you look at me, I didn't have my first piece of pizza until February the 3rd, I think, is when I updated it. Maybe the 5th is when I actually put it in. And then now I'm up to 15. I'm above 2 other people who started eating pizza back in January.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Those starting numbers with Melinda, I thought she was just about to just wipe the floor with us with this, especially now that she's been moving and getting a new house, which is like the perfect time to buy pizza and not have to worry about cooking.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to smoke us all with her numbers. And it's just like, she had a really big beginning of the year, and then it's just like, eh.
Yeah, I thought Nick was talking a big game. He's and I will say, I mean, he's on track for what? We're 2 months in, and he's 22, 11, 100 and what would that be? 132 pizzas for the year.
Yeah,
is the pace he's on, so that's not bad.
This average
and then Brittle
is not
jumps in
about
with
to-
31.
This average is about to get blown out the water.
Yeah.
And the average is
we're all
46,
well on our pace
right?
to break it. Yeah, the average is 46
in a year.
We're all well on our way to smoking this.
Well, and I think you'll
only
see
46. I thought it was like 70 something.
No, it's 46.
It's only 46.
Jesus,
That's why when you first said that, I find that hard to believe. It seems too low. But again, like with mine, you'll see a common trend of this where I may sit at this 15 for 2 months, and then I'll hit another 15 in a month, right? Like, it's just I'll kind of taper on and off of it. It does. If I had family members who liked pizza as much as I do, I'd eat it so much more often. But
I mean,
my
at
wife
this
is-
rate, sorry, I'm just
You're
running
good.
the numbers in my head. At this rate, Brittle's gonna break it next month.
Yeah.
He'll order 2 more medium pizzas.
This wasn't meant to be a challenge. I took it as a challenge.
Yeah, not a competition, by the way.
Not a competition.
Honestly,
if it was a competition, Brittle is smoking it.
if this count wasn't, if we weren't doing this count, I probably wouldn't be thinking about pizza so much. I'm gonna be honest.
There is always that element, right? And you can't
That-
really avoid that.
The fact that this is in the forefront of my, like, this is a thing that we are doing, puts it at the forefront of my mind. It's like, oh, maybe I want pizza. And so it's
Brittle is on pace for 186 slices of pizza this year.
Proud of you.
hey man, having this kind of figure ain't for the faint of heart.
Oh, it's gonna be a long year.
No, what are you talking about? We're already into March.
I know, it's crazy.
It's flying
Jesus
by.
Christ, we're only into March.
We're already into March. You have to do your taxes next month.
I'm ready for this year to be over. I'm ready for like mid 2027, just personally.
What's happening in mid 2027?
Not this.
Touche.
Yeah.
buddy. I like the graph though, Michael. Thank you for doing that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did that.
Please,
That was-
please continue this. This is going to be hilarious because you're right. It does look like the Mario Party graph at the end. What's going to be a problem is if some other people's numbers start going down and my go up at the same time. It's like, what is he doing?
How are they going to go down?
I don't know, but that's what happens in Mario Party when you steal stars and stuff. So
If they start going
I
down,
don't
you
think
may need to see a
throwing
therapist.
up counts for going down here.
That would be great.
I don't know. We might
You
have to
a pen-
confer to the
You have
rule book.
penalty slices, and now you have to deduct slices.
right,
I gotta retract my previous 3 slices I had.
Yeah.
couldn't make it, guys.
Update the pizza count. 17. Okay, 15 again.
15 again. Bro had a rough night. No
Been a rough
context
night.
needed.
Well, I have a thought,
Oof, you better be careful.
and
That killed
this
a guy.
is more. Yeah, this one's rough because I ran this by my wife, and I realized going back to our beginning conversation how my brain really is game coded. That I asked her a question and then realized my stupidity in that question, and so now I have to reform the question to where it actually makes logical sense. But if a mummy is reanimated, is it still a mummy or is it just a zombie?
I think it's a
I'm gonna
zombie
say-
with mummy subtype.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think the subtype, though, it's a subtype of the undead, I think is what it is, though. Because mummies don't eat brains. Like, they're not going only for brains, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a zombie. I think it's a mummy, and that is a subtype of undead. No different than zombie is a subtype of undead.
Okay. All right. I'll subscribe to that.
So here's why I shouldn't have asked my wife this question, because y'all all jumped on the same bandwagon, or the same thought process, not bandwagon, but the same thought process as I did. Mummies aren't reanimated bodies. That's just a type of wrapping that Egyptians did to their dead. It's a preservation technique, is mummification.
Correct.
Yes.
And then I was like, well, you have ruined this entire thought experiment for me.
So was her
And
question,
then-
is it a mummy before it comes back to life?
It's a mummy when they wrap it and preserve it.
When they
It's
do the
No, I
embalming.
understand that.
The
Was
embalming
she saying
process.
it only became a mummy once it came back to life? Is that what her thought was?
No, that was my thought,
Oh, okay.
because I play video games. And
Oh, so to
I
you, a
will-
mummy was the alive
Yeah.
being. I see. Okay.
And so I was playing a game the other day and there was a mummy after me, and then they had zombies, and I had the thought of like, aren't these the same thing? Because my original question is, why are mummies the only regionalized zombies? Because they're technically just both reanimated corpses. One just has bandages on them. And then she goes, well, mummies is a mummification process, so they don't actually have to be reanimated. And it broke my brain because how right she was, but my brain is so game coded that it was just like, no. They're both reanimated. And then I had to stop myself from correcting her because, like, God damn it, she's right.
Oh, it's not a mummy until it's chasing me. No.
Yeah, it's not a mummy till it's chasing me and wants to kill me.
See, I think there is an aspect to that, though. The process is mummification.
Yeah.
When it is reanimated, it is a mummy.
That's a good point. The body itself is just a mummified corpse. Once it comes alive is when it becomes a mummy, right? Is it
See?
two different distinctions?
I want to give you
I think so.
credit, but we went down a deep dive, and as soon as the mummification process is done, it's a mummy. And it hurt me in my soul to figure that is the truth. Trust me, I don't want it to be. I really don't. I wish it wasn't. I wish I never spoke to my wife. But here we are.
I wish I would have left
And-
her out of this.
Yeah, this is not a conversation I need to have with her.
Are there
But-
any other
your wife's no fun.
regionalized
Your wife's no
undead,
fun.
though?
And that was my thought, because I was thinking, like, there's so many types of ghosts. Like, you got like banshees and, more invisible ones. I mean, there's names for different ghosts. I play Halo. They have a lot.
All of them.
Revenant, Spectre.
Revenant, Wraith.
Yeah, you have all of these different kind. And so I had the thought process of zombies. And then I was just like, oh, mummies are basically zombies, right? So why do we only have a regionalized zombie of mummies? Why are they so special? So then I went into like a thought bubble of what are certain kind of monsters that are regionalized, and even like genies. There's multiple types of genies based on regions, but mummies was the one that is like that's the only one. That's the only subtype of zombie we have here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's true though. If you really go into it, because I was trying to remember, there is a type of it's a Asian country, Chinese, I think. They have like a hopping kind of thing. Hang on, let me look this up.
What?
There's definitely
Well, and so
What
yeah, here it
hops?
is.
While
It's
oh, go ahead.
Yangshi. It's a type of Chinese hopping vampire that drains the life force from the living.
That's vampire.
That's a vampire.
That's different.
But no, it's a very specific type. It's a hopping.
Vampire.
They're characterized by stiff movements.
Like
So
you-
it's different. It's different.
You said vampire.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know why this says vampire. but
Vampire's different from
well,
zombie.
it's an undead though.
It's an undead, yeah. Just like a skeleton, I guess.
Yeah, but vampires are undead. We're talking like, would you say mummy is not zombie?
No, I would not say. Yes, a mummy is different than a zombie. Yes.
So okay, here's my point to this. The only reason a mummy is different to a zombie, and this is very generalized, but is the reason for it coming back. Mummies, generally speaking, when they're alive or when they come back to life, is for the sole purpose of protecting their tomb, right? That's generally when they come alive in folklore and movies and whatnot, right? They come alive to protect their tomb because somebody's in there trying to take something from it, generally speaking, Indiana Jones, right? I don't think there was a mummy in Indiana Jones, but either way,
I think
zombies.
there was. I was trying to think. I think there was something like that.
Was
wasn't
there?
But or the mummy.
Gosh, I feel
Brendan
like I
Fraser,
remember-
the mummy, right? He was trying to
maybe
steal
that's what I'm
something.
thinking of. I might be thinking of the mummy.
Right? You probably are. They're very similar art style and the way they produce
Yeah,
those movies.
That may have been what I was thinking of.
But yeah, mummies are generally coming back to protect something. Vampires are a whole different thing in the sense that they were never fully dead. They never died and were put to rest and then came back. They have now gotten, I guess, it's not a disease. It's a
Reanimated.
virus. Well, they're not reanimated. They
Well, they're
never
not
actually
reanimated 'cause they were
died.
never
Their life
dead.
just got
Yeah.
taken away, but they're still here.
Transformed? I don't know.
Yeah, right. But
It's a transformation. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. And then zombies are usually just something has happened that has caused the dead to come back to life, to reanimate, like you say, and now they can infect others. Mummies aren't turning other people into mummies.
That's a great point. Mummies cannot infect other people into mummification.
That would be funny though.
So
You
the
just,
defining
like,
factor is
start getting
motive?
binded.
A mummy bites you and you start growing.
Yeah,
all
it just
the
starts
wrappings out
wrapping
of your
around
skin.
you. Ah!
So, is Frankenstein a mummy?
No,
No.
he's several corpses. I would consider him a zombie.
He's not a zombie. He doesn't infect other people.
He's got a point.
He is
Okay,
just
well,
an
but here's-
experiment. I don't think
Undead, no
he falls
subtype?
into any of them.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
his
He is
own
core
classification.
undead.
Yeah, he's a homebrew class.
Oh.
He's a DIY. He's a DIY undead.
Not the DIY.
Also, back to your regionality, Austin. Apparently, there's also a Norse undead called a Draugr.
Those are in
that
Skyrim.
sounds familiar now.
Those are in Skyrim.
They guard their graves and possess superhuman strength. They can rise from the dead to protect their treasures. It's a Norse concept. So I would say
Those-
there's another
so-
regional type one.
Those
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's-
just sound familiar, Austin. Those are like the main ad in Skyrim in every dungeon. Not
Yeah.
every dungeon, but in most of them. Yeah, but here's another mistake I think we're making with this though. I think the infection side of zombie is the important part. Earlier,
True.
Michael, you said something about them eating brains. Not all. Now, again, we're talking about something that is, I think we can all admit, is made up. But when you're talking movies and stuff, there's so many different types of zombies. They're not all just out there trying to eat brains.
Yeah, but
some
I
of
think
them
the
are there for
archetypal
the.
zombie. I think the archetypal zombie is looking for brains.
Yeah, I guess if you want to go like generic with it, yes. Same with
Yeah,
mummy.
like
the
the-
generic mummy is trying to protect its tomb.
Yeah, and I think it's when you get into the sub types of those that there are zombies that aren't trying to eat just people, it's more of a infection spreading thing.
Yeah, like now that I think about it, I don't remember like World War Z, that book. I don't remember if they were actually after brains or just it was an infection spread. I feel like maybe it was just an infection spread. But either way, it's typically an infection where mummies are typically a curse. So yeah, I think they're two different subtypes.
So I'm looking through a whole list now, and I know we're probably already a little past the time, but so I'm just going to read some off. If y'all want to look into these more, you can. So there's an Arabian or Middle Eastern one that's called a ghoul. That's where the term ghoul comes from, but it's Ghul. They're jinn-like shape-shifting creatures that inhabit graveyards, and they do feed on human flesh. There's the Jiangshi that Michael was talking about from China, Draugrs that are Norse, Revenant, which are European or medieval. Dead person who returns from the grave to terrorize the living, often specifically to exact revenge on family members.
No, we call those
Corrigan,
assholes. Is what that is.
they're not necessarily skeletal. They often appear as animated corpses, but they're more driven by like vengeance or love. They're not just like brain dead zombies. There's a Corrigan, which is Breton or Celtic. These are so they're more similar to mummies, I guess, and they're more protective of their territory. Guanajuato mummies, again, Mexico, so those are more protecting their... So it looks like, generally speaking, is what the difference in what we consider undead regionally, at least, is their purpose for coming back, their drive. And then zombie is just generalized, more virusy, more contagious, trying to grow their species in a way. It's just a drive to infect and keep growing. Or eat brains, as Michael said.
Okay, so it's viral. All right. Oh, that makes sense. I'm on board with that. It's all motive based. What's the motive?
That's what I'm
thinking
about dead things today.
Yeah.
Tune in next week,
And on
guys,
that
where we have the mystery incorporated on.
And we talk about the living, maybe. Something positive.
Well,
Take us out, Austin.
I was about
I
to
was
say.
coming up with something.
out of the
It was
out of,
gonna be zombie adjacent, and then my brain was like, "You're not gonna get there."
take us out with a of the
Give
podcast,
up
not with like
right
a rifle or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like, let's put headshot this episode and get on with it, and it nothing clicked right. It was gonna be as terrible as that delivery was. So here we are. Anyway, thank you for listening to episode 36 of the Roundabout Podcast. Tell us, what did we first talk about today?
Marathon.
Yeah.
I don't really.
And then taco seasoning. And then sports uniforms.
I don't know how I'm gonna ask people to engage with. Tell us what video games you're playing right now, and do you think you could be fooled by taco seasoning as Pokemon cards?
Tell us what you're scanning in the self-checkout aisle instead of that TV.
Yeah,
How
tell
do
us
you
how
beat
we can
the
get
receipt
Target
checkers?
to fine you and send you to jail. But
Roundabout Gaming does not condone theft.
we do not condone fraud.
We do, however,
But tell
find it
us-
hilarious.
If you have a favorite undead, because I learned a lot about zombies that aren't the same as mummies today, and I have to talk to my therapist now because everything I thought for the last 20 years is a lie. But I think that's why I can't finish this episode like I should be able to.
Bro is rattled.
God, I am existential crisis here from what I thought I knew, but I didn't. But please follow us on our socials. We have our Instagram and Facebook is Roundabout Pro. We have YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky Roundabout Gaming. We also, as we have mentioned many times, we stream every Friday. Every now and then we sprinkle a little Tuesday in there like Salt Bay does on Twitch, which is Roundabout Pro. And once again at YouTube, Roundabout Gaming. Please come speak, come say hi, follow, like, subscribe. Do all the things, hit that bell. I don't know if the bell's still there anymore. I haven't seen it, but I don't do that anymore. But if it's there, hit it. And please engage, interact, speak to us. Don't talk to me about zombies, though. Love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
We should come up with a Southern United States undead and call it Salt Bay. All it comes back for is to steal all the salt.
I feel like that's like a
Why specifically Southern?
Western European
Right? Yeah.
cryptid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically
That does
spices
feel-
from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, what it does is it comes and opens the salt in your cabinet and mixes all your other spices with salt. Like, it just pours salt and everything else.
Natural enemy to vampires.
Do they not like salt? I thought it was just garlic.
They do not like salt. They can't cross a line. Vampires cannot cross a line of salt until they have counted every grain.
Yeah, I forgot they did that in Doctor Who once.
Yeah, it's not that they don't like it; they're just OCD.
Yeah, it's like them being invited. Like, you'll kill me, or not kill me, at least. I think they.
Isn't that a
just,
more
like,
recent thing? The inviting thing, isn't that like in the last 50 years vampire lore?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Is this part of the episode?
So we're still rolling.
I think it is. I think it's
Oh,
still the
Jesus
episode.
Christ.
Invited origin. Let's look that up.
This was
Not
meant
doing
to be
another
a
outro. I'm done.
This was meant to be a funny quip, and then we cut, and then it's just turned into a whole nother fucking thing.
False first puts it in the meta. So, like all mythical what do you? I mean, are these mythical? Is that what you would consider undead?
Supernatural.
Supernatural, yeah.
So, but like a lot of them, they have origins in religion, right? Most of them do. So there are elements of like paintings and stuff with the devil needing to be invited in before he can do anything as early as 1000 AD. Now, specifically with vampires, though, I don't know. I know vampires are always known to be very like their origins are very demon-esque.
Yeah, agents of Satan
In that
stuff
sense,
like that.
yeah,
You
right.
want to talk about a show that really explores that? The Castlevania animated series on Netflix. Holy
Fantastic.
fuck, it's so good.
Such
Brittle,
a
are
good
you about
series.
to put me onto another animated show?
I am.
Oh,
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
yes.
That one's amazing.
It's phenomenal. It's the characters from the Castlevania games.
Yeah, it's like the Castlevania stuff, which I
Trevor
got
Belmont.
into. Yeah, the only reason I got into it is because Smash Brothers. And then I started watching that, and I
What?
was like, yeah, because I never played any of the Castlevanias. I'm 28.
What a gateway drug s thing. Like,
Right?
oh yeah, I played Smash Brothers.
I
I
was-
should go watch
I was
an
a si-
animated series about
I was a
this.
Simon Belmont main there for a little bit. I was going through a rough patch, all right?
Hey, I loved Belmont. I loved Belmont in Smash. He was phenomenal. But then Cloud came out, and I didn't play anything but Cloud.
Brittle claims being 28 is the reason why he's not played a Castlevania. The most recent Castlevania release was in 2014,
It's true.
and there's another one coming out this year. So there's really no reason you couldn't.
Yeah,
play.
but like all the OGs are from like the 90s, right?
I think.
I mean, there's a lot of
in
them,
the
yeah.
80s.
Or the 80s. Yeah.
yeah, Castlevania 1 came out in 86.
Yeah. Should
2
play
in
Symphony of the Night.
87.
Play Symphony
That's
of
the
the Night.
one,
You don't
yeah.
got to worry about any other ones.
97.
That one is phenomenal. It was the first one I ever played, and you still get the same Castlevania feel with it not being dated. Like, it's still an older game, but it's done like when games were more advanced,
Yeah.
but keeping that same style. So
I
play
did
that
play.
one. Fantastic. You know what else we should do? We should tell sync.
I was about to say if
Tyler
this
still got a
isn't the
point.
episode, can we tail sync? I've got
God.
to piss. Well, I will. Okay,
Damn it.
I will add real quick. So this is like the third thing I've found about this, and it is very much religious in origin. So it's very similar to the Passover, and it has to do with like the fact that vampires are very agents of Satan, like Brittle said. They similar to the Passover, how if you took the right steps, the demons would basically pass over or pass over your house, quite literally. It's essentially just saying that there are rules to adhere to. It's that whole thing of even though they're these evil creatures who are threatening people's way of lives, there are rules they have to live by, basically. And so but apparently specifically to what you're asking, the rule of having to be invited into a home predates even like Dracula, like the book, the original,
Bram Stoker's.
what put vampires in the limelight, essentially. So yeah, it's been around. That's not really a new thing, to answer your question, Austin.
Did you know Leviathan is mentioned in the Bible?
Yes.
Yes,
It's just something to think about.
we'll leave you with that. Oh, faithful viewer, listener.
All right, let's sync and get out of here.